Scorpio. Seven of Swords. All right. Scorpio, who's not trusting who here? Seven of Swords is a manipulation or a feeling of being manipulated or a feeling of betrayal or a feeling that somebody is strategizing against you or they feel like you're strategizing against them. Now, again, the Seven of Swords is some sort of feeling of manipulation, screaming out loud to me that your ex is in contact with you or has been trying to get in contact with you and you don't believe a word they are saying, or vice versa, they don't believe a word you're saying. But in cross watchers, this can be reversed, but please keep your comments nice because I read for the sign I'm reading for. So again, definitely feeling as though you've got somebody who you've possibly been betrayed by before, somebody you're not sure of. There's just some second guessing here with the Seven of Swords, making it very much feel like you've got your guard up and you're like, nope, I don't trust you. Somebody was either very manipulative in the past or cheated. There's something that you found out about or you experienced or you guys have gone through a few times. And if they're coming back or even if you haven't heard from them, there's still this gut feeling of they're up to no good. Okay. Now, your oracle card is the guest of honor. Okay. And this is like you being on the outside looking in. So almost feeling as though you haven't found your place, which also might go along with the Seven of Swords because this is like a feeling of belonging, and the Seven of Swords is not feeling belonging. The Seven of Swords and then the guest of honor is, again, like a guest in their own life. You're trying to figure out, Scorpio, where do I belong? Do I belong with this past person, even though I feel like I can't really trust them or I'm not sure what they're up to? Or do I belong with somebody else who I can fully trust and makes me feel secure in a relationship? All right, the first card you have is your current position, and you have the King of Pentacles. So right now, you feel like you're on top of your game. And a lot of you maybe I'm working on it, whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row yet, but you're working towards being like the better you, the greater self. Money, you're trying to get stuff in order. The King of Pentacles is a very dependable energy, a very stable energy. And I feel like Scorpio, this is you. You're very grounded. And that's why you're hypersensitive to somebody who just isn't feeling like they're trustworthy or that they're, being legit or organic with you. For some of you, you are talking to this person. And like I said, for others, you're not, and you really don't necessarily have interest in having a conversation or dealing with this person. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the end of the month. And you have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is very daring, somebody who's ready to move forward and get out there and, have a good time. I know right now that's kind of hard to do with, everybody being in shelter mode for the most part. But at the same time, the Knight of Wands is like, ready to go for what they want, ready to go after what they want. Nobody holding them back. Very strong, very confident, on a mission. But this is also self-discovery. So for a lot of you, like I was talking about, if you feel like the past couple of months or maybe last year, there were so many things you wanted to do or so many things you wanted to accomplish. And this relationship in particular put a big burden on you. It was almost like an anvil or like a weight. And now that there's some sort of distance between you two, or there's some sort of disconnect, it's almost as if you're making strides. And the Knight of Wands is saying, holy crap, look at what I'm accomplishing now that I'm not going through this drama, now that I'm not dealing with the fake ass or dealing with the lies or the whatever else. It's almost as if you're progressing forward now that you are kind of the guest of honor, like you are finding out where you belong, because obviously whatever you were dealing with or the person you were dealing with was not healthy or didn't feel like this was the right situation. The next card you have is your distant past. Over the past 5-10 years, could be throughout childhood. You have the Tower card. So this is huge. This is everything breaking down, a dissolution, a disruption of everything, things crushing down. You've been through this before. I feel like you could have been through this with this person, but this feels more distant. This feels like some of you have, hit rock bottom beyond belief, maybe addictions or maybe, homelessness, or maybe that's what you experienced as a child. Because the universe is reminding you, you have been through hell and back, some of you, and you can get through anything. You go through the mud and you come out smelling sweet like molasses. So Scorpio, this is the universe's way of saying, whatever you have been through in the past, trust your gut. If manipulation is something that you know well, because maybe you watched your parents go through it, or maybe you dealt with people who were, had addictions and you watched them lie, cheat, and steal. And now you've been in relationships where the same thing. The universe is saying, you've got this. Okay. You've had tower moments. What you're going through may feel like it was a tower moment at one point, but you've survived much worse. You've survived many other things, and you thank God and your blessings and the universe every day for being stronger and more stable and building up to the point of, never having to deal with whatever this past was. Because for some of you, this is very heavy, and that past has determined a lot of things you've had to sacrifice or go through in your life to get where you are. And now you're starting to get somewhere, and you're not about to let somebody who's manipulative or doesn't have your best interest at heart get in the way. The next card you have is your immediate past, or the past few months, and you have the Page of Pentacles. So once upon a time, I think you were willing to work with this person. I think you were willing to say, hey, yeah, we could make a go of this. We might be able to make this work. There's a possibility this could happen. Because the Page of Pentacles is somebody who's willing to put in the effort, somebody who's willing to put the pieces back together and say, hey, I'm not a quitter. I'm not somebody who gives up that easy. And you're not. Scorpios are definitely not the type of people. They strive and survive. Strive and survive. But thrive and survive, I guess is what I was trying to say. But my point with the Page of Pentacles is you've put your work in. You know that. It's not been reciprocated. And that's why you're feeling like, wait a minute. And I feel like this person has come back to you, and they do tell you, oh, but we can have a go at it. And you think, okay, you know what? There's still a connection here. I still love you. I might be willing to work at it. But then when it comes down to it, you feel like you're the only one putting any effort into it. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords is the tongue lashing card, I always say. This is having something to say to somebody. This is saying, look, it's a hostile card. It's confrontation. So I feel like if this person comes back again, or they have been coming back and, they've been trying to get in your good graces, and maybe you've been overly graceful in letting them come back. And I think you're finally getting to a point where you're going to have a conversation. They're not going to like what you have to say, but damn it all, they're going to have to listen. And if they don't want to listen, they can walk away, because you're already prepared for that. Some of you don't want that. Some of you want to heal from this. Some of you want to put the work into it. That's why you've continued to work with this person. But you want a belonging now. You want a relationship. This has been kind of they've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You don't really trust them. So you have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're watching their every move. They're watching your every move. Like, there's been a lot of difficult times here. And so the Knight of Swords is kind of like, you either like what I have to say or you don't. But again, Scorpio, you're prepared for whichever direction this is going to go. The question, though, is just, which way is this going to go? The Seven of Swords is saying, I'm not sure, because I'm not clear on what I believe and what I don't believe. All right, the next card you have is your immediate future. So throughout the next remaining weeks of April, and you have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is wise, very maternal, paternal energy. She or he, I don't apply sex to the cards. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody that people feel comfortable, people feel safe around. This person, this ex you're dealing with, feels this way for you, Scorpio. But for whatever reason, they keep telling me white lies, like little white lies. Like, they can't just fucking tell the truth. They can't just say, hey, this is what's going on, or hey, I'm not quite ready for this, or hey, yes, you're right. In the past, I had an indiscretion, but I want to make this work. It's like they can't muster the strength to actually step it up, or to actually, it's like an arrogancy. Because if they actually do muster the strength to get back, like you've learned, the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's wise, who's come to their senses and gone, oh, okay, I will only reciprocate towards somebody who actually does what they say they're going to do and treats me the way they want to be treated and I want to be treated. So it's as though you've come to a realization of, I'm not moving forward. Right now, I don't feel like you're moving forward with anybody in particular. I don't really see you dating a ton, but I don't see you moving forward with this situation until, like, you feel as though they've learned from their good graces, so to speak, or that they can get back in your good graces. The next card you have is anything tangible throughout the rest of the month. And you have the 10 of Cups. Now, the 10 of Cups is peace, joy, family. This doesn't feel like peace, joy, family with your ex. This feels like peace, joy, family with you. This feels like more time with my kids. This feels like meeting new people, even if it's just friends. And right now, a lot of that's hard because, again, social distancing or whatnot. But this is more FaceTime and spending more time with your kids because you're locked in and you're deciding. This is just peace and joy and feeling wonderful about being blessed to be alive and to understand human connection, and also a self-empowering, self-improvement type mode that I feel like a lot of you are going through. This has given you time to think about not just the recent situation, but the past few months of maybe silence or distancing, that wasn't mandatory, has given you time to grow as a person and really understand where you're going and what you want. The next card you have, and what makes you happy, what makes Scorpio happy. That's what you've been focused on, which is abundance, satisfaction. You have the 9 of Pentacles here. The 9 of Pentacles is an abundant energy. The 9 of Pentacles is feeling as though you want to be generous. You want to spread the wealth almost, right? The 9 of Pentacles is somebody who is like, again, I'll do unto you as you do to me. This is, somebody who is questioning a relationship and, the aspects of their lives, but then also implementing, self-discipline and understanding, why things didn't change. Perhaps you need to, maybe you need to lighten your load. If you truly want to see yourself succeed with this person, then maybe, if possible, lighten the load of the past and the negativity. But if not, and you want to move forward, then remove the burden of thinking about going to the past and figuring out where it is you belong. The next card, I just love that for you for some reason, this guest of honor, because it really is like, okay, Scorpio, it's time for you to figure out where you belong, where your place is in everything, love, finance, life in general. The next card you have is your hopes and fears. Well, you have the 4 of Wands. So your hope is kind of this peace coming into fruition, because the 4 of Wands is a happiness, a resting place, a first completion. So the first completion to me is you deciding, do I want to move forward? Do I want to embrace the new and go forth and seek something different? Or do I think that we could get past this, the past insecurities, the things we've been through, and move forward? I feel like it's even for you guys. A lot of signs lately have been getting kind of moving towards the new, and maybe it was because it was, 2020, and a lot of people have wanted their lives to change and have wanted different things. But the 4 of Wands here is saying all you're wanting is what you want. And I know that sounds weird, but what you've longed for, whether it's having kids, adopting fur babies, getting married, whatever it is for you, Scorpio, your goal here or your aim is to find that, whether it's past or present. But for a lot of you, you have some things, you're not feeling the past right this second. And when they do come towards you, which they will, if they haven't already, when you guys do strike up some sort of conversation, there will be some hostility. There may be some confrontation. Yeah, right now you're in solitude. Well, and you could be in solitude. That could just be because of everybody's current situation. But you have the Hermit card, which is Virgo's card. So you could be dealing with a Virgo or have Virgo placements. But the thing about the Hermit is going in solitude, finding a spirituality. And like I was talking about with the 10 of Cups, finding that happiness with the family, finding the happiness with the things you already have, accepting the blessings and understand what you currently have until you can see everything that's laid out in front of you, all the blessings that are laid out in front of you. It's hard to move on to whatever it is you truly want. It's hard to move into a new course of action. Now, you have the Page of Wands coming out here, which is a spark, communication, some sort of person coming in and having a conversation. And I do feel like this is towards the end of the month. The outcome is you're going to be in some sort of solitude. You know what you want. And this person is going to be pushing and pushing, because here they come wanting communication. And here you are saying, well, communication you'll get. A tongue lashing comes along with that as well. I'm not saying you're going to be a, nasty person, but you do have a lot of things you need to say to this person. And there are things that you've been needing to get off your chest for a long time. And you still just, there's a big trust factor here that's missing. And the longer you guys keep going for spades of time apart, the more that distrust or those insecurities build up. Okay. So legitimately, with that Page of Wands, that's somebody coming in and saying, hey, Scorpio, what are you doing? I'm missing you. How's it going? And then you have the Knight of Cups. Oh, they're going to come get in your good graces. They're going to be all up in your grill. The Knight of Cups is somebody who is wanting to kind of romance you. Somebody who's wanting to tell you, Scorpio, but give me another chance, Scorpio, but I miss you, Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Ooh, this person is coming in. They're coming back, and they're coming back like fiery, because you have some fire signs here. We've got the Knight of Wands, Page of Wands twice, okay? And the Page of Wands is that communication. Somebody's coming back fiery. So watch your step, Scorpio. No, draw the line. If you want to be with this person and you can keep this stability that you've developed, and you can keep this energy of, happy life and resting place and happiness, then great. But if you can't, then, just be cautious, because I feel like this person is going to come in with this kind of romantic Knight of Cups, whimsy, dreaming, and you're still going, fool. You think that I don't know you're still talking to Cindy Lou Who? Mm-hmm. Anyways, but for real, like, if there's any doubt, then it may be a very short-lived trip down the Knight of Cups romance way. It's almost like they know that you've got their number and they're just waiting for you to call them out on it again. However, very interesting things going on here, because then you have the Page of Wands again. 3 times. 3 times the Page of Wands. This person, they're not ready to say no. They're not ready to say goodbye. They are coming in hot and hot and hot and hot and hot. Fiery. Again, you may be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sag, because you've got 3 Page of Wands, which is the communication, the spark, the curiosity. What have you been up to? What have you been up to? I mean, my goodness, I don't think I've seen 3 Page of Wands in a read ever. So this person, Scorpio, they want to hear what you have to say, even if it means you biting their head off a little bit, even if it means. Now, what's more interesting is you have the 4 of Wands. I don't even need to explain the Page of Wands here, because I just did it 3 times. This is somebody who wants your attention. The 4 of Wands is a happiness or a resting place. So one of 2 scenarios. This is a happiness or resting place where you cut this person off and you say, sorry, bye, Felicia, not going to happen. Because you have this Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is saying you hold the power here. The Queen of Swords is power, clarity, seeing things clearly, knowing what you want and not afraid to cut off what you don't, what you don't want. And very honest, very critical. So I almost feel like if this person can take the honesty and the criticism, and they can show you that they've changed, you may actually move forward with this person, because the 4 of Wands is a resting place, a happiness, a first completion. Again, so it may be the completion of, they finally got you to answer your text. They finally got you to unblock them or something like this. And you may end up finding yourself pleasantly surprised that you guys can move forward into this resting happiness first completion. For others of you though, and I hate to do the torn thing, but I really am torn, because most of the time it's very clear which direction, but this Page of Wands is like, this person, they're hot on your trail. Like, the past is hot on your trail. They are very interested, Scorpio, in what you're doing, where you're going, and they want this resting place with you. But you may or may not feel the same. You may be ready to move on. You may not feel that belonging. If you can feel that with them, then I think some good things actually may come out of it. Man, they are wanting, like, I can feel it in the pit of my stomach. They are not liking being without you. Now, you have Expedition as your oracle card for the finale. And this is, adventure. This is, like, break free if you want to break free, new experiences, new friends. But then, this is also like bringing back, bringing back the gift, or bringing something back. Whether it's tangible or intangible. This is so very interesting. Expedition. Do you go forward or do you go backwards? But I don't feel like if you go back here, you'd actually be going back. You'd be going back forward. Does that make sense? Like, you could actually possibly get forward momentum in this past situation. So Scorpio, for a lot of you, with their burning energy here, there's a possibility you may, yeah, I mean, they're hot on your trail. So they want to know what you're up to, and they miss you a lot. I'm telling you what, Scorpio, you may just be interested in what they have to say. Although you're going to have some things to say too. So, all right, I'll see you. Bye.